Hey, it's Out of Darts. Today I wanted to do a quick video just talking about Nemesis and my solution for installing a switch in the Nemesis. Choosing your switch and where you place it is a big part of Nerf modding, and my go-to is generally this RectorSeal EP200 epoxy putty. It's about $5 a tube and it is fantastic stuff. Sets really quickly, 15-20 minutes, and you can gap fill and use it for just about anything. Now there are a dozen different kinds of switches you can buy, actually probably hundreds in reality, but these are some of my favorite, my go-tos, and they're all the ones that I've got on my shop. And then actually I've got a few more now that I think about it. But the one we're going to do today, talk about, is this 21 amp switch, because I love how clicky it is. It's got a really heavy actual click. And so what I've designed are some 3D parts, just two parts that go inside the Nemesis. So if I clear all this away, we'll bring down Mr. Nemesis. This is the inside of the Nemesis. It's pretty standard. I am going to do a very thorough full mod guide on this in the next month or so, because even myself as an experienced modder, I will always watch someone's video first to see how did they lay things out, where did they put the switches, that sort of thing, because why not take a shortcut when you can, of course. So looking at the switch area here, you've got a couple different things going on. First, you've got a switch that's going to have to be dremeled out and put in here. Now for that switch, there's not a whole lot of placement options. You could of course take a smaller switch, which is lower current, and it might be a little easier to fit in, but it might not last as long because these are only rated for 10 amps. Generally, I use the 21 amp switches for the Rival stuff. You can get away just fine with a 15 or 16 amp. In fact, I have Hurricanes that have been running for years of play now and lots of abuse, and they've been fine. So ultimately this switch will end up right in here. Now, I used to Dremel out this area for the trigger switch, and there was just a nice little pocket here where this little roller switch would fit in here perfectly. Now dremeling's kind of a pain, and the big disadvantage here is that you end up with all this wiring trying to go up into your battery tray, and I've even gone so far as to cover that with a 3D printed part. Though it was a scrap part, you also end up using a lot of the epoxy putty. So I got to thinking, we've got this huge amount of dead space, and it's on both sides of the shell, lots of space. So what I did is created these two parts that have holes and are mounted ready to go for the switch. So essentially you've got one 3D part, which is the base for the switch, and another 3D part which connects to the lever. Now installation of this is very simple. You just take a little bit of super glue or hot glue or crazy glue or CA glue, that's super glue, and or any other kind of glue you want to use pretty much, and this just fits right here. And that activates as our switch actuator. Now you can see that was kind of tough to snap on there. I've actually designed this whole thing to be tight enough where you basically don't even need glue. However, I would obviously recommend it. So after you've installed this part here, which again you'd want to glue, you've got one simple part here where the switch just fits right onto a little nub that I've created there and right up against this flat bar. And then there's a hole that goes all the way through that lines up with this peg here, which is actually part of has nothing to do structurally here. It's actually part of the mold and how they remove the mold, I believe. So this should slide all the way in there, and you're essentially good to go. Now for a permanent installation, you would glue this side here and the bottom, and you could again use super glue, hot glue, crazy glue, goop, just about anything. Just don't use too much if it's something that does actually melt plastic. And this is not even glued in, but you'll see that this is rock solid here. And it makes installing this switch so much easier. Now I am going to sell these parts on my shop because I had a few people ask. I really did design this just for myself in mind because we are going to be offering completed commissions, modded Nemesis, just a full rewire and whatnot, using this little bracket. We wanted to make it easier for ourselves. The other advantage of this is the last time I built up something here, I had to use some garbage plastic and about half a tube of this putty. So it was several dollars worth of putty, if not more, because I might have gone a little heavy trying to build up enough support. But this just makes it easy, quick. You can have this switch in a matter of minutes with zero dremeling, and then all you need to do is drill one little hole here for your battery leads to go through. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a full mod guide as well as a mod guide series in general coming down the road in the near future. Thanks for watching. I'm Out of Darts.